Hey, what's up guys? It's Matty here at mixandmastermysong.com. Today we are going over Acustica Audio's new plugin called Taupe. And if you can't figure it out, Taupe is a tape emulation plugin and it sounds fantastic. It reminds me of the sound of tape, which I haven't used in 10 to 12 years, but man, it like really nailed that sound. So today what we'll do is we'll go through the plugin, show you what everything does, and then we'll listen to a bunch of examples so you can kind of hear the thing in action. So here's the plugin. First and foremost, this is probably the coolest looking plugin I've ever seen. It has all these like kind of 80s, 90s themed pictures from the show Stranger Things, or at least there's a lot of Stranger Things, like the upside down themed like pictures. And it's really just fun just to be able to see the pictures. It kind of like, I feel like it almost like influences my choices in the sounds I pick. But it's cool. It's really, really cool. I dig it. It's fun, and it makes things even more exciting when you're using these plugins. So this is a song by one of my clients, Philip Bates, called Georgia. It's a really good song. You can check it out on Spotify. And what we'll do is we'll run some drums, bass, and vocals through. But before we get to that, let's go through some of these emulations. So the guys on the Acustica forum put this together, which is really cool of them. It's a list of whatever, a lot of people think that Acustica is sampling when they do some of these. So especially for this plugin, when there's so many choices, it's cool to have a list of all the different tapes that were sampled. So the way the plugin works is this is the tape section, this is the EQ section, and this is the compressor section. The tape section has 4 banks, and in each bank there's 10 different tapes. So lots of choices. What is that? 40 choices of tapes you can pick from. It's got an input. You can drive it harder, which is cool and sounds like tape when you drive it harder. An output section, for gain matching. And then the cool part is they have a source tape section, which is like a mix knob. And because sometimes, tape can kind of like snap the transients down and warm things up a little too much, in my opinion, especially for a lot of modern music. So you can kind of give it that sound, but not all the way, do like a 50-50 mix, which is really, really cool. And I'm glad they added that feature. Down here's the EQ section. So there's 3, we'll use our cheat sheet here. There's 3 different EQs, A, B, and C. It wouldn't be an Acustica plugin without 3 different EQs as well. So A is an MCI JH500 in theory. The B is MCI JH600, and then you got a Studer 900 down here. And lastly, the compressor, which is actually pretty cool sounding, is a Studer 900 compressor limiter as well. So after all that has been said, let's take a listen to this thing. This is just on the drums first. And so what we'll do is I got all the EQs off and I got the compressor off. I'm going to go through the different tape modules, just, kind of jump around so you can hear the differences. And maybe first what I'll do is just on this first setting, we'll bypass it. And if you're not a Studio One user, this is bypass, just so you know when I'm clicking that, that's off and that's on. So, and I'll also bring up this sheet so you can see the ones we're listening to as we go through. All right, so here we go. So lots and lots of choices. I mean, you could spend half a day just trying to figure out the right tape setting you want, but it's so cool. You know, just, I mean, out of my use, I've really kind of grown to like some of these first four here, the Ampex ones. I like the Atari ones, especially on vocals, which we'll hear later. And then the Studer ones, just maybe because that's what I grew up using. I dig those a lot too. And then these are cool. I haven't tried them yet, but I really got some good ideas to use this like on a delay return or something. So we'll see what we can do with that later on. But so just little settings I did with this drum. I think I ended up using this setting, the A setting, which is the MCI. And we just boosted a little top and boosted a little bottom, and then I'll turn the compressor on after, but let's hear it now with the EQ on. So just even adding the EQ just adds a whole lot, and these EQs sound awesome, man. Like they give it something that is just great. I really dig the EQs on it. So then when I had the compressor, and what I did is I'm hitting it pretty hard, but then I got the mix knob, which I love that Acustica always does. Gives you a mix knob. So let's hear it now with all that stuff. Really crazy. It's like a whole new drum set. This plugin's so cool, man. It sounds so great. And just the added EQ and compressor, like at first I was like, why do they do that? Just give me the tape. But man, this stuff's really cool. And they just sound so good. And the combination of the three is just really something special. So that's the drums. Let's jump over to this bass. So another thing they added here, and it's really a great feature, and they're starting to do it more and more, is giving you presets to start off with. And there's a ton here. There's 3 different guys who did a bunch of presets, and it's a good way to get started, or just hear different ideas with, you know, EQs and compression and the tapes, you know, just different ideas to get you going. That's why I always like using presets. I'll throw a vocal preset on a bass just to hear what it sounds like, and it might give you something new you weren't even thinking about. So I actually I think I used one of these bass settings here on the Marcus ones for this bass, and then tweaked it a bit, but I'll give you the bypass and then the bass that we got on. So once again, it sounds awesome. It really kind of brings the bass alive. And I tried to gain match these pretty much, so all the crazy gain match guys, don't kill me in the comments. I'm doing the best I can with that. So anyway, that's the bass. Sounds pretty cool. And like I said, you could run through all kinds of different settings to even change it more. Lastly, we'll go over vocals. And this thing shines in vocals as well.
Generous and warm, you build me up like steps.
So in this one, I didn't use any EQ compression, but I'm using, what is this? Hot Rod. I don't know. I can't remember. Bank B. Let's actually pull up our thing. So Bank B70, the Atari at 15 IPS. And listen to this kind of that. This one's a little more subtle, but like listen to the warmth and thickness this gives this vocal.
Generous and warm, you build me up like steps. Generous and warm, generous and warm, you build me up like steps.
And you can hear it all together too.
Generous and warm, you build me up like stairs.
So yeah, amazing plugin. Man, I'm going to be using this on everything. Make sure to check out the demo. They got one in, I'm not sure how many days, I think 14 days or 21 days, but really worth checking out. The CPU on it, by the way, is not that bad. Let me show you guys really quick, actually. It is kind of bad. It's not great, but you can always use a couple of them and then, you know, freeze your tracks or whatever. But yeah, great plugin, man. This thing is awesome. They knocked it out of the park on this one. Acustica's been killing it lately with the plugins. They're really kind of coming into their own with everything. So like I said, check it out in the demo. Please leave any questions or comments below. Please like and subscribe if you can. It helps as I lose my voice. And if you need your songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. Thanks.